Hello, Sensei Pond from KB Karate here with you, and we are going to talk about Seisan Dachi. So we always start with stance geometry. I'll go sideways here. So 1, 2, over, shoulder width apart. So looking forward, that would be 1, 2, shoulder width apart. So for me, I like to have the outside of my shoulders with the outside of my heels and my armpit with the inside of my heels. Oh, everybody has a different body type, but that's basically what I try to do. So in the stepping of the stance, we have our hands up to the kamae. Won't get into detail on the hands. It's all about this. So you push your knee over your toe. That's by pushing your hips forward. We have a 50% weight distribution on both legs. And we try to maintain that. So we have this line here. And this line in a kata context, we'd call it the embusen, or the performance line. And it's a good training tool because you don't want to go this way and this way. You want to go smoothly right through that line. You don't want to sway from side to side. You don't want to come up and down. You have to practice stepping smoothly through that line. So that's the Seisan Dachi stance. So what we're doing is, for stance stability, we do not want to bring this foot over to the other side of that line when we step. We don't want to come over. We want to, at the most, come into the line and out. So we make a little bit of an arc with our feet. Arc with the feet. So the front foot is straight on the outside edge. The back foot, as straight as you possibly can, given your ankle flexibility, with your Achilles tendon and all of those things. It can be at the most 45 degrees, but further forward the better for the orientation of your hips and your knee, your overall stance. So again, when you step through, glide through, you maintain contact with the floor as much as possible. If you were outside and it was rough terrain, obviously you wouldn't be dragging your feet as much. On a smooth floor, it's nice to have the ball of your foot maintain contact with the floor. We talked about those 3 points of contact with your feet, and it's always important when you land that you establish that right away. So when we're in our stance, this is a strong position, and as you're stepping, it's weaker. So this is more vulnerable, and then you want to get back into that strong stance. So when we step, we pull with our front leg, we push with our back leg, so we squeeze in, and then we push out. So squeeze, push, like that. And that's how we step quickly to avoid being in that transition, which is weak. In this stance, when we're still and we're planted in the stance, we're very strong because we have all 3 points of contact on the ground. We've got 50-50 weight distribution. Proper geometry of stance means very stable stance. Low center of gravity, all of those things. But whenever we step, we are vulnerable. When we come out of the stance, it gets weak. So we want to shorten the time that we're out of the stance. So when we step, we push off the back leg, we squeeze the legs together, and it helps pulling on the front leg, and then we expand back out again, like that. And that is done very quickly, so that we can avoid being in a weak stance position. So we call this jitsu strong because we're in a strong position, and kyo is the transition between the steps, which is weaker. Okay, so jitsu strong, kyo weak, strong. So the idea is step and be always as much as possible in a strong position, low center of gravity, and the stance geometry will do that for you very well if you follow that. So your practice would be, take a line and be mindful of where you step. Be mindful of that line. Don't cross the line. Don't sway from side to side or come up and down. And just stare off to the horizon and look and practice the stance. Check the outside edge of your front foot. 50-50 weight. Push your hips forward to have the knee over your toe. Hands up. And practice that. Okay? That's the stance. So the last thing I want to mention is breathing. Another exercise in Seisan Dachi you can do is you can now combine the breathing with the body movement because they really do need to be synchronized. So when you push off, you want to breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And you can actually use your hands to help you feel that grip on the floor with those 3 points of contact. But breathe in, breathe out. Push your palms down to help you feel the pressing of your feet to the floor. So you bring your palms up, and down. And that will help the breathing synchronize with the stance, and it'll put everything together for you. So that is your homework, is to practice the Seisan Dachi and then the step.